Hey guys, if you are able to hear me properly and the video is also clear, please do let me know. Okay, and then we'll get started. The notes are being shared right now on the WhatsApp groups. I've sent it to the person like the manager in charge. So it is being shared right now on all the WhatsApp groups as well as the Telegram channel. Okay, so there will be like no problem in that. Yeah, the notes are being shared right now on all the WhatsApp groups. So in the next 20 minutes, most probably all the WhatsApp groups as well as the Telegram channels will get the notes. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Just right now, I've just sent it to the manager and he is sending it into all the WhatsApp groups. Okay, as well as the Telegram channel. We'll be waiting for 5 more minutes and then we'll be starting with today's class. Okay. Like I've said, the person who is in charge of this is sending it right now on the WhatsApp groups as well as the Telegram channel. Okay. The purpose of this bootcamp is to enable students who don't know a lot about programming in general, who are not even familiar with programming, to get started on their own as well in programming in general. Okay, so ShapeAI does a lot of things, but one of the things is to enable students to get like free teaching, free counseling in these sessions, because not everyone can afford right now different things due to the coronavirus and everything. Most people have lost their jobs, so we want people to get a head start, to get like an initial knowledge so that they can get started with learning these different technologies. Yes, like ShapeAI also conducts industrial training and all these kind of stuff as well, internships, but like most people cannot afford that, so we do this so that everyone gets to know about like AI, web development, data structures and algorithms, how to compete, how to reach different companies, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, Google, American Express, Visa. We have people from all these realms in our Shape AI, so like they are able to help provide you with the right guidance. So that is what the aim of all these things are. Like I've said again and again, the notes are being shared as of right now. In the next 20 minutes, everyone will be getting their notes on all the WhatsApp groups as well as on the Telegram channel. Yes, the project that we are going to do, that can be added on your resumes as well. For intermediate to advanced students, right now these boot camps are not for them. These boot camps are for immediate beginners itself. My suggestion to all of you would be, like, if you want to get into a good company, like I can even show you, just wait a second. So shapeai.tech. So this is our website, shapeai.tech. You can like watch our graduates. So the initially ShapeAI was started around November. So in December we had hired our first batch. We selected 60 students, not like around 40 students we selected, and we trained them. Basically, we provide training and internships, industrial training, and these students cracked various companies, as you can able to see. Shubham Kumar cracked Goldman Sachs, Devesh Vishwakarma cracked Reliance, Abhishek Kumar Barclays. So Shubham Kumar got an internship as a data analyst, summer analyst at Goldman Sachs. Devesh Vishwakarma got an SWE intern at Reliance. Abhishek Kumar got a placement at Barclays. We were having Bhavya Kala from Microsoft, Ajit Garg, Wells Fargo, Atulya Arya, Goldman Sachs, Abhay Patro, Wells Fargo, Vinish Kumar, Goldman Sachs, Raghav Loya, Walmart, Vikas Kumar, ZS Associate, Mahi Patel, Deutsche Bank, Harshit Mittal, SourceFuge, Sahil Garg, Nutanix, and Ashish Modi. So Ashish Modi is someone who was one of our first graduates, and we took him in. Like we offered him part-time internship at Shape AI as well as a data analyst. So currently he is working with us. He's an amazing person. Um, So the like instructors that we have are Parag Mittal from Microsoft and Rahul Halalka from Goldman Sachs. So Parag Mittal is an incoming SDE intern at Microsoft, whereas Rahul Halalka is some incoming summer analyst at Goldman Sachs. So these people know a lot, and our main objective is to get students placed in different companies, because we understand that most students do not get the proper guidance actually. Like they do not know what path to follow. They are just like, there's so much available on the net, but like whomsoever is writing on the net as well, either they have, like they are from US, okay, so they cannot cater to the requirements of the Indian students in general. Like they do not actually know what is going in India. What they are doing is like, what can you do after MS? So that is where you can follow these YouTubers who are mostly American or from other countries as well. So coming back to Indian YouTubers, they also do not provide enough knowledge for you to get placed. Okay, you can learn how to do machine learning, you can know how to do web development, you can develop some application, some project, but that is not enough to get you placed. And slowly and steadily, if someone is from a fourth year or a third year right over here, they can understand this, I hope, that for perfectly like getting into a company, there is a lot of different requirements that are present, and students just don't know about it. Two of the basic requirements is your skill set. Okay, you have the proper skill set, and the second one is you have proper experience if you're going for off campus placements. For on campus placements, DSA and algo, so data structures and algorithms, is absolutely must. Data structures and algorithms and competitive programming. The second thing that is actually must is a type of skill sets that can be web development, that can be data analysis, but that is secondary. But most people do not know this. They are just running after something that, like, I can give you in written today that if you don't know, then it will be very hard for you to get placed. So Shape AI does not focus upon creating the best data analysts. Shape AI focus upon one thing: getting the students placed. That's the only objective of Shape AI. So that's what we work with. Okay, the like notes have started going on to the different groups. So I'm able to see that the group 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so Python and CV groups have got their like notes. The rest of the groups will be receiving the notes in the next 15 minutes or so. So the notes have also started like sending in. Okay. So profile building is something, see, again, that's the problem. For example, there is a particular person asking about Harry. So Harry himself hasn't cracked any companies. Okay, Harry himself is not placed into such a good company. If a particular person, he himself is not able to do that, how can you accept him to teach to other students? That's my basic objective. That's my basic point. So what we do at ShapeAI, we bring in people who have cracked companies. We have people from Google, a step intern from Google. We have people from American Express. We have people from Visa. We have people from Philips. We have people from Microsoft. We have people from Goldman Sachs. We have people from Reliance, Geo, and so many different companies. These people have actually cracked these companies. These people have actually gone to these companies. They know what was the process to follow, how to learn, what are the short tricks and everything. So that's the basic difference between these YouTubers and ShapeAI. ShapeAI is not a YouTube channel. ShapeAI is a proper startup, a proper company where we provide education to all. So that's what we focus upon. And yeah. See, I'm not talking about like if someone is bad or good. Of course, whatever knowledge that Harry or other YouTubers provide is also good for you. I'm not saying that. For development purposes, is like it's okay. But you need to understand that that is not getting you placed. That is not for placement purposes. He's providing knowledge. Knowledge is available everywhere. But if you are looking for a placement perspective, that okay, I need to get placed in such a such company and in an MNC or something like that, then these platforms are not actually built for that. Code with Harry and all these people provide knowledge. Knowledge is something that, yes, it may help you in the long run, but when seen in a very short run for placement objectives, it's just not feasible enough. Okay, to go through 300 different videos to learn everything, and that is also not laid out in a proper format. Like there is no like doubt solving assistance, there is nothing provided by them. So of course knowledge is very important, guys. Of course, without knowledge, of course, you cannot progress, but not getting knowledge in a very right tracked manner is something that is also very important. PHP is dying. Okay, so do not learn PHP. See, again, if Harry is from different college, that does not mean that he has cracked different companies as well. I myself cracked different companies. Parag Mittal has cracked Microsoft. Rahul Alaka has cracked Goldman Sachs. We have people from Google. So when you are comparing these people with a YouTuber, so that's the basic difference. I'm not here to debate on that, of course. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so yes, we are having people joining Shape AI from like South Africa. We have people from Spain. We have people from Italy. We have people from Brazil. We have people from Indonesia. We have people from North America that are joining Shape AI. So that's really amazing to see that so many people from around the globe uh, like understand the importance of getting into a good company actually. Like not many of the people understand this properly, but if you are not getting into a good company just after the college, it's really hard to get back into the game actually. Okay, so let's get started right away. Okay. Okay, so we'll be using the same like notebook that we were using yesterday. Okay, the notebook is not going to change. It will be the same notebook that we were using yesterday. We'll be continuing with Python today as well. And then moving forward from day after tomorrow, we'll be starting with the project. Okay, so for the like 2 days, we'll be doing the project, I think so. So that will be the main thing. Again, like if you don't remember how to open up Collab, just a quick review. Just go to the URL, search for COLAB. Okay, COLAB, just search for that. Once you have searched for Google Collab, the first option that is available, that is Google Collab, you have to select that. Once you have opened that up, you have to select from examples, recent, Google Drive, GitHub, upload. You have to select GitHub. Once you have selected GitHub, what you have to do is come back to the video. Below this particular video itself, there is a link to the notebook right over here. You just have to click on this particular link. It will take up you to a new page. You have to copy the URL from right over here. So just right click, copy, and then here in after selecting GitHub, just right over here you have to paste the link. Once you have pasted the link, just click on search, and it will directly take you to the notebook that we are currently using. Simple steps. It won't make like you won't face any issues in this, I hope so. Okay, once you have opened it up, you just have to click right over here on connect. So it will allocate and then initialize and then connect you to a like server at Google. Once that has been done, we can get started with today's class. Okay, so we'll get started with Boolean. I hope that yesterday we were at Boolean itself. Am I right? Uh, can someone let me know that yesterday we were at Boolean itself? Am I right or wrong? Yes, we were at Boolean. So that's okay. So let's get started with right over here. So Boolean data type, another data type in Python. This data type contains only two values. It can be either true or it can either be false. Okay, that's the only two values present in the Boolean data type. So another bool is another data type. So Boolean is also abbreviated as bool. that is commonly used in Python. Bool is a short form of Boolean, which can either has a value of true or false. Boolean algebra is the branch of algebra in which values of the variables are the truth values or the false values. So that is basically just like in digital computing, you are having zeros and ones. So 0 represents false and 1 represents true, and you can perform logical operators over that. So initially we have seen as arithmetic operators that can be performed on like integers and floats. So those are plus, minus, division, multiplication, exponentiation, integral division, and all these kinds of arithmetic operations. Whereas on Boolean data type, you can use logical operators. Okay, these logical operators are and, or, not, XOR, nor, and all these kind of different logical operators exist. Okay, Boolean algebra gives us the framework on which all electronic devices are built and exists fundamentally in every line of code inside a computer. So that is basically digital, like analog and digital circuits. So that will be something that you will be like studying majorly in your colleges, I hope. So most of your computers are digital computers, so they contain values that is 0 and 1. So everything is binary in a computer. Each line of code that you are seeing is actually a pattern of zeros and ones, and zeros and ones are what? Zeros are false and trues are ones. So these are Boolean values. Okay, so that is the entire like core thing that is used in computers. Of course, we are not going to use that right now, but just to make you a fundamental understanding, give you a fundamental understanding of how the computer works, it's basically a binary like machine. Okay, in Python we can easily assign Boolean values, like, so in a similar way, like Boolean value true and false are basically values. Okay, and the variable names can be determined. We have already looked at the variable names, conventions for writing the variable names. So Python awesome, true, documentation bad, false. Okay, so this is something that you need to understand, what are the different type of Boolean variables. Okay, so run anyway. If someone is getting this particular message, okay, just click on run anyway. Okay, so you will know, like, it's just like you do not have to pay any attention to it. Okay, we can use comparison operators to compare two values to produce Boolean results. So for example, if I want to see if 3 is greater than 1, okay, if 3 is greater than 1, in that particular case, comparison operator, we get the value as, so is 3 greater than 1? Yes, 3 is greater than 1. So this entire highlighted line will return true to us. Okay, because 3 is greater than 1, so the value of 3 greater than 1 is true. So a is equals to true. That is the entire thing. So when we are running this, you will be able to see that true is being printed as the value of a. Here we had two integers, but when we performed a comparison operator on both of them, that is a greater than operator, then we are getting true as the value. If the similar case was like is less than, okay, 3 is less than 1, so is 3 less than 1? No. Okay, 3 is not less than 1, so it will return false to you. And when it returns false, if I'm printing this, the value of a would be false. Very simple, very easy to understand, nothing too complicated about this. Okay, I'm trying to take everything from basics so that if someone does not know anything about Boolean, he or she is able to understand everything from this. Okay, so here 3 is greater than 1, so printing the output gives us a Boolean value to true. There are many comparison operators in Python. As you can see, here are all of them. So these are different comparison operators that are present in Python. These are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. These are the different comparison operators that are present in Python. Working with Boolean has its own set of operators called as logical operators. Okay, so so I've already talked about logical operators, basically and, or, not, XOR. These are different types of logical operators. Most probably you must have like learned about these in your mathematics or your physics classes in the high school itself. Okay, so these operators are very useful when working with Boolean and evaluates if both the sides are or are true. So let's see the example. Okay, so first of all, let's see the example for AND logical operator. Okay, so as you can see, and what does AND logical operator does? What does AND does in fact? In concatenates the left hand side and the right hand side. in normal English, okay, I'm just talking about normal English, what it does is it takes in two sentences and it tells like, yes, this and this, like both happening at the exact same time. So that is the basic behind English. I'm just talking about basic English, not programming at all. Basic English, you are having two sentences, you concatenate it by and what does and does? It tells you that both these statements are there. Okay, that is the entire thing about and. Similarly, in what does it does in Python? In Python, it will evaluate if both the left hand side and the right hand side is true, then and only then the entire statement is true. Whatever is present on the left hand side of and whatever is present on the right hand side of if both are true, both at the same time are true, then and only then the entire statement, this entire statement will be true. Otherwise, even if one of them is true or even if both of them is false, then it will return false. Only the only condition in which both of them are true, like it will return true, is if both the LHS and the RHS are true. So you need to understand that as well. So let us see via an example. So rent is equals to 1200. Okay, so is affordable rent greater than 1000 and rent less than 2000. Okay, so is rent greater than 1000? Let's see. So 1200 is greater than 1000. So this is true. Okay, rent less than 2000. 1200 is less than 2000. So yes, this is also true. So as LHS is true and RHS is true, so left hand side and right hand side both are true. In that particular case, using and, we are able to get that the entire statement is actually true. So this is the basic concept behind this. Okay, so if I'm running this, you will be able to see that it is returning true to me. Okay, so one of the student messaged me that, sir, like how to run a particular code in Colab. So to run this particular block of code, you can either click on this play button. Okay, if clicking on this play button will run that cell. Okay, the another option is to click on shift. Okay, just keep on pressing shift and then enter. Okay, keep on pressing shift and then enter. So that will also run the entire block of code. So that is how you can run a block of code, just to make you understand that. Okay, uh, okay. Again, the notes are being shared as of right now on all the WhatsApp groups. Okay, I'm able to see it on my screen. So just look into it after the class itself, and maybe you will get something out of it. Okay, so rent is equals to, let's check if the rent of the house is affordable or not. Here in the second line, we evaluate both the sides, that is rent. So we have already discussed this. Okay, so let's look at this particular line of code. Okay, so rent is equals to 1200. Again, we have taken rent as 1200. Is it affordable? Okay, so if the rent is greater than 1000 and the rent is less than 2000, so that will, we have already seen that. So 1200 is greater than 1000, yes, that will return true. 1200 is less than 2000, yes, that is also true. So this entire statement from here to here is true, because both the sides of and statement is actually true. Okay, what does not does? Whatever is present inside of this bracket, it will just make the inverse of it. If the value present inside this bracket is true, it will make it false. The value present inside the bracket is false, it will make it true. So that is the work of not. So the value that has been returned by the highlighted portion right now, we have discussed that it is true. So what will not do? Not will convert into false. So when we are printing it out, you will be able to see false getting printed on your screen. So that is a basic concept of and not. You are also having or. So as the name suggests, that one statement or the other statement. Okay, only one of them. So in this particular case, if whatever is present on the LHS and the RHS, even if one of them is true, if both of them is true or one of them is true, in case of or, then it will return true. If both of the LHS and RHS is false, then or statement will return false. So let's look at this. Let's keep it as or. Okay, and let's do it as less than 1000 or greater than 2000. Okay, so as you are able to see, rent less than 1000, so this is false. Okay, rent greater than 2000, this is also false. So this will return false to us. Okay, but even if I'm changing one of them, okay, rent is greater than 1,000, so it is true, this portion is true, whereas the next portion is false. In this case we will get true as the output. And even if both of them are true, okay, if both of them are true, then also we'll get true as the output, as simple as that. Okay, so strings. Python has, so I hope that you guys have understood what this is. uh, Please do let me know. Right now, where do we use this boolean data type? Right now, as I've already shown you, like whenever we want to perform some logical operations like this or this and a very complicated logical operation, then you use boolean objects itself. You can also use it as flags. Okay, whenever you want to check something, that okay, initialize it as false. Whenever a particular condition is met, just change it to true, and if it is true down in the code as well, then do something. Okay, so that type of flagging system can also be done using boolean data types. I hope that everyone is able to understand this boolean data type. One of the students messaged me that, sir, why are you dancing around in the video itself? So I'm not dancing, like it's my way of teaching. Like usually when I teach, my hands go around a lot. I'm myself a Google Explore ML campus like instructor as well. So I have a pretty much a lot of years of teaching as well. For 2 years I was uh, that. So yeah, so that's my style of teaching. Okay. Documentation bad can be made to be true. No, documentation is really important, guys. In our training and internship, we have an entire program dedicated to just documentation. So that's the entire thing. For editing the collab code, you can download it and then upload it as your own, and then you can edit it as well. You can edit it, man. There's no like problem that you can just go around editing anything. Like if I'm going here, I'm writing something, you can do that. There is no objection to that. Okay. Is my voice not clear to anyone? I'm a Google Explore ML instructor, not a Google ML instructor. The name of the program that I fall under is Explore ML. Okay. So can someone just let me know? Someone told me that my voice is not clear. Is that a big problem? Yes, it is clear now. Okay, thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so let's get started. So that's great, guys. Strings. So one of the most important topics that I consider in Python, basically because there is a lot of manipulation that can be done with strings itself. Okay, there's a lot to study in this. And like Boolean, so Boolean has a limited amount of diversity that it can perform, but strings really are something that is very important. A lot of questions in interviews I'm seeing nowadays is being asked from strings itself, especially in Microsoft, I don't know why they have this attraction to strings. In like 80% of the interviews that I saw related to Python, so Python has literally one or two questions that they will be asking you to from. Okay, like maximum it can go to up to four from Python basically. So that will be basically from strings. I'm seeing this very frequently, like list comprehension, strings, and all these kind of stuff are being asked a lot. So that is something that if someone is preparing on their own and without any guidance, so he or she can look into it. Okay, for Microsoft, of course. But rest of the country, every company has its different schema for asking questions. But there is a pattern between them that is very important to know. Otherwise, like you are just running around blindly. Okay, so strings. Python has another data type in its toolkit called as strings. Very true. Another data type that we are going to study. As the name suggests, this data type deals with characters, words, and text. So basically, it deals with anything that you put inside the quotation marks. So that becomes a string. Okay, it can be numbers, it can be characters, it can be special characters, it can be words, it can be spaces. So anything that you put inside a curly, like inside a quotation mark, that becomes a string. String is an immutable ordered sequence of characters. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going deep into this. I don't remember while making the notebook if I've included. So I will just let you guys know right now. Okay, so for example, let's take a string shape AI. So this is a string. Okay, now there is a possibility. Okay, so let's see what happens. Print. Let's see, s is equals to shape AI, s of 0. Let's see what happens. Okay, so as you are able to see, shape AI, when I'm typing s of 0 in like square brackets, I'm writing 0, the index. So the indexing, Python is called as a zeroth index language. Okay, because the indexing of these characters starts from 0. So s is 0, h is 1, a is 2, p is 3, e is 4, capital A is 5, and I is 6. Okay, shape AI is a 7 digit, like 7 character string. Okay, so each of the characters will be mentioned from 0 to 6. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the total number of characters is 7. So when I'm accessing the 0 of 0th index character, so I'm getting s being printed out on my screen. That's absolutely correct. Okay, so this is called as ordered, that whatever order that I've mentioned right over here, shape AI exists in that particular order itself. I can get any like any character. So if I'm typing 1, I know that it will return h to me. Okay, I know it inherently that it will return h to me. If I'm writing 4, okay, so 0, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 will be e. So e should be returned back to me. Okay, so I know that this is called as order, that what are the different characters. So the characters present in string are present in a specified order itself. That is called as an ordered sequence of elements. Okay, so here the elements are the characters, individual characters. Whereas what is immutable? Now if I want to change shape AI from shape AI to shape space AI. Okay, for example, I want to change this to this. Okay, e is equals to, whenever in Python, whenever you are writing like equal to sign, always specify space on both the ends. Okay, this is just a thing that you need, so for clarity itself. So if I want to change this to shap space AI, okay, so what can I do is I can like write s of 4 is equals to, and then this. Okay, I want to replace e with emptiness. Okay, empty space. Now this cannot be done. When I'm running this particular line of code, you will get an error. Why? Because strings are immutable in nature. Once a string has been created, it can be replaced by another string, a new string. What I can do is s is equals to e. I can do that, but I cannot change individual characters from a string. I cannot change E to emptiness, I cannot change S to T, I cannot change A to Z, okay, in the same string. This is called as immutable. That is, you cannot. So what is mutate? So all the X-Men fans, all the Marvel fans, mutation is coming into the Marvel universe very soon. Although in WandaVision it has not come up yet, but it will come very soon into the entire multiverse. But so what is mutation basically? So there were human genes, there were X genes present in humans. These X genes got like mutated. Okay, these X genes got activated due to some type of like different chemical reactions. So one of them was a particular, I don't remember, it was something T something, and these stones, these crystals, when it bursted, like produced some type of gas, and inhaling that gas mutated the X gene present in these mutants. Okay, so these mutations caused that particular person, the same person, to develop some extra like features that could be like extra arms, laser eyes like in case of Cyclops, like claws in case of Wolverine or something like that. So that was the same person who was like early on, for example, Logan. Okay, the early on the human form was that of Logan. Logan got mutated, the same person got mutated into Wolverine. Okay, so that is called as humans that contain X gene can be mutated, and those humans who didn't contain X gene were immutable in nature. Although if I'm putting them into a chamber with all that gas, even though I'm slapping my fingers with the infinity gauntlet, these humans won't mutate because they are immutable in nature, because they do not have the X gene. Similarly here also, these strings itself cannot be mutated. Okay, that is, they are immutable in nature. I cannot change P to Z. Although yes, if I want to assign S as a particular thing, I can write S is equals to E. In this particular case itself, the entire value was taken out from S, and the new value contained in E was put inside of S. Okay, that we have discussed early on. So this value is instead being, the entire value is being replaced by some other value. Okay, that can be done. So let's just see right over here. You will be able to see that in this particular line you are getting an error right over here. Okay, it says the str object does not support the item assignment. This is a very important thing to remember. There are many different containers that you are going to study in the future class, like not in the future classes, when you are studying on your own or you are joining Shape AI. In that particular case, you will be looking into this. So knowledge, a very common question between like the entire segment is like, tell us about strings, why is it called as immutable, why is it called as ordered, what are the different containers, what is that ordered or mutable or something like that. These questions are extremely common, and at least you need to know this theory, at least. Okay, so moving further, in this example we printed the word Shape AI using a single and double quotes. Okay, so yes, you can use any of them. Okay, you can use single quotes as well as double quotes right over here. So print Shape AI in double quotes. So when you are doing this, okay, I have to remove this particular line as well. So let's just comment it out. So you will be able to see that it does not make any difference. You can use a single quotation mark as well as a double quotation mark to represent strings. Okay. You can also add a string to a variable. So like we have already seen that. So motto is equals to this particular string. So that can also be done. So string acts like the value for that particular variable. Strings in Python are also shown as the variable type str. So when you are running this particular line of code, okay, I have not, okay, so here what was the mistake was I didn't run this particular line of code, hence the like motto wasn't declared. Okay, that is, the variable motto wasn't declared. When I'm running this particular line back, it will be working fine. So type motto, as you're able to see, the type of that particular variable comes out to be string. That is very important for us. Okay, string can contain any character, symbol, space within the quotes. However, if you want to have quotes inside the strings, we get an error. Okay, so for example, like how does Python figure out whether this is a string? So it will start from the quotation mark and then end at the quotation mark itself. Okay, so it will consider only this much as string, and the rest of it, it does not know what it is. Okay, it does not know what it is. It will consider the last two quotation marks as string as well, but in between them it does not know what this is. Okay, so this is a huge problem. If I'm running this particular line of code, you will be able to see that it is showing an error, syntax error, very genuine. Why? Because Python starts with the quotation marks and it ends at the quotation mark itself. Okay, that this is a particular string. So how can we tackle that? Python provides two easy solutions for this. Okay, the first one is to enclose the entire string into single inverted commas and to have double inverted commas inside of it. So what does Python does? It starts with a single inverted comma and then it will look for the next single inverted comma to end the string itself, and it found it at the end of it. Okay, but this is also has a flaw inside of it. What if I want to have another single inverted comma in middle of it? Okay, if I want to have lar end and I'm just like doing anything right over here. Okay, so it will start from the first single inverted comma, it will find the next single inverted comma that occurs right over here, although it is just an apostrophe, but it will stop right over here because it has found the ending of the string according to it, which is false. Okay, so this will also throw you an error. So to deal with that, the second and the most like important point in like using different quotations inside of quotations is the backslash. Okay, so what does backlash symbol means? Backslash basically symbol means. So whenever Python encounters a backslash, what does the backslash tell to the Python? It tells Python that whatever the character is next to me. Okay, so for example, I am the backlash. Okay, so this is the highlighted is called as the backlash. So if I am the backlash and Python arrives till me, it will ask me, okay, what is your role? And I will tell to him that whatever is the character next to me, the next character after me, you have to ignore that character. That character is a string. It is not the end of the sentence. It is not any special character for you. It is just another string. Okay, so Python starts from a single inverted comma. It encounters a double inverted comma. So it is still searching for a single inverted comma to close this string. Okay, it moves forward. It reaches the backslash. Okay, whenever it reaches the backslash, it asks it, what is your role? It tells that whatever is the next character to me, just ignore it. It is a part of the string itself. So the next character to the backlash is a single inverted comma. So Python will not stop here because of the presence of backlash. It knows that it is a part of the string itself. It will continue to move forward until it finds the next single inverted comma, and that is where it stops. Okay, so this is the function of the backlash, and the backlash is not printed in the string. You will be able to see right over here when I'm printing it out. You'll be able to see the backlash has omitted. Okay, to include a backlash, for example, if you wanted to have a backlash right over here, okay, so what you can do is you can just add another backlash to it. Okay, so in this particular case, Python will reach the first backlash. The first backlash will say that the next backlash has no importance, no meaning, and then it will move on to the next backlash. It will include the second backlash inside the string, whereas ignoring the first backlash. You will be able to see that the backlash is now included. A single backlash is now included in the string. Okay, so this is the importance of backlash. Very important character. So that I've specified Garvit Bansal. I hope that you are able to understand that. Is 0 minus 4. Why do you want to do that? Yes, you can use string builder, string buffer, but right now we are just talking about strings. I do not want to complicate it for the rest of the students because most of them joining us are like from basics. Okay, so we want to like cater to them as well. Prashant, if you are not able to understand, please leave the bootcamp instead of writing right over here. Okay. Hmm. So most of the people are not at all interested into study. Okay, so have you like understood this or not? So that is my main question right now. If you have not understood, please let me know, guys. Okay, understood right now. Okay, so we can then get started. Okay, so here are a few operators that we use on, so floats we understood like plus, minus, multiplication, division, all these operators can be used on floats. So what are the different operators that we can use with strings and what are their roles? So that is what we are going to see right now. On strings, we can use only two operators, the plus operators and the multiplication operator. So for the plus operator, if you want to concatenate, okay, two strings, then you have to just write the first string plus the second string, and that will give you a concatenated new string. Okay, so hello plus world will give you hello world. If you want to have space in between them, then you can write hello plus space place plus word. Okay, then that will concatenate hello space world. Very simple, very easy to understand, nothing new in this. I hope that everyone is able to understand this. Okay, for multiplication, for example, if I want to repeat a particular word n number of times, so I can just create a variable for that particular word and multiply that particular variable with 5. Okay, for example, I want to repeat it 5 times. So what this will do is it will concatenate 5 hello together. Okay, so it will be hello, 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 hello. So 5 hellos it will concatenate together. So if I'm just printing this out, you will be able to see that 5 hellos are being concatenated together and printed out. Simple, easy to understand. Okay, we cannot use minus, we cannot use division on strings. It will give you an error. For example, let's see right over here. If I'm just writing minus right over here, you will be able to see that an error occurred. Type error, unsupported operand types minus for str and str. So you cannot use minus, you cannot use division for these strings. Okay. Moreover, unlike multiplication and addition, the other operators, so that we have already discussed, that we cannot use division operators or subtraction operators. This will also give us a type error itself. Okay, so we cannot use the operand type division for str and str. Okay, a built-in function for the string data type is length function. Okay, this is a very important function. It is being used a lot, so you need to know that. As the name suggests, it returns the length of the objects that it returns, the number of characters, that is, it returns the number of characters in the string. Okay, so like shape AI is a character having the length 7. Okay, because it contains 7 characters in shape AI. So len basically sends, like, it takes in the string and it returns a numerical value of the number of characters present in that string. Okay, so for example, length of shape AI, so length of shape AI is 7, so you will get 7 printed out in the output. Very simple, very easy to understand, a very important function that is for strings. Okay, you need to know this. So if we are having space, if we are having anything gibberish numbers, then we are having another space, special characters, so each and everything present inside of this, whether it be space, whether it be the special characters, whether it be the numbers, are counted as characters itself. So each of them will be counted and hence you will get a larger value, 38. Okay, so these are some questions, just look into it. I hope that you will be able to do this properly. This will also help you to like concrete your entire knowledge that I've just like told you guys about strings. I hope that you will be doing that. I will not be, of course, you don't have to upload it. It's just for your own benefit itself if you want to do it. If you are beginners, if you are intermediate, then like it no need to do this. Okay, so type and type conversion, let's have a particular revision about it. So we have already looked at type. Okay, so type 75 will return int, type 7.75.0 will return float, type 75 will return str, type true will return as boolean. Okay, when we are running this all lines of code, you will be able to see int, float, str and bool. So these are all the values that will be returned by this particular statements. Okay, so we have already seen this as well. If you want, I can just like whatever. Okay, so that's the same thing like type conversion basically. So type conversion we have already discussed. We can convert integer to float, float to int. So for example, if I want to convert the integer 3 to float, so we can just write float in front of it. We have discussed this yesterday itself, and this will just get converted into float. 3.0 will be the value and you will get float as the type of this particular variable. Very easy to understand, nothing new. In the next example, we created a string from the integer variable marks, used that particular string to create a larger string. Okay, so here as you are able to see, marks is equals to 15, so this is a particular integer. Coding subject is equals to coding, so this is a string. Semester is equals to first, so this is also a string. So I want to create a particular result, an entire string that I want to create. So I can use the plus operator to append different strings together. So I scored, and then to convert 15 to a string. So you cannot just write, so you cannot just like add a string to an integer. To concatenate them, you have to first convert the integer to string and then add it to the end of the second string. So to do that, I can just write str and then marks. So this will just convert marks into string. That is, it will put inverted commas around 15. That's all it does. Okay, in subject during my semester, and that is like very easy to understand. The rest of the code is direct, like just appending two different strings one after the another using the plus operator. So you'll be able to see that it prints out I scored 15 in coding during my first semester. Very easy. I hope that you are able to understand. Okay. If someone is not able to understand, please just let me know. Someone just told me to shift to the lights scene, and hence I shifted it to it. Okay. Okay, so then I will use the dark theme itself. No worries about it. Uh, okay, so just a second, guys. Just give me a sec. Okay, so any problems faced by you right now, just do let me know. I hope that you were able to understand up till this particular point. We have just dealt with the basics actually, like we haven't even dived deep into containerization and everything, like different data type, data structures that we haven't even discussed right as of right now. Okay, so this is just the basics, just so that you guys are able to understand the core concepts. Concepts are very important, guys. Without concepts you will not be able to do anything. Okay, so this is the attendance. It will be on the screen for the next 10 seconds and then I will be closing it down. Please take a screenshot for the same and then it will be removed from the screen. It will be on the screen for the next 10 seconds. After that it will be removed. If someone has missed it, he can, here it is available on YouTube. You can just scroll back and look at it. Okay. Okay, so that was the entire attendance as well. Now I will just open it to dark theme. Okay, so I personally prefer dark theme, but someone told that to keep it in light because they are not able to see, hence I shifted to light. But my personal preference is also dark mode itself. Okay, so marks is equals to 15, type marks. So here I've just converted string to like float. Okay, so that can also be done. We can convert string to float. So that will basically like append point 0 to the end of the string. Very easy, like there's nothing else in it. So if I'm printing it out, print marks, so you will be able to see that 15.0 is being printed. So very easy to understand, nothing new in this. One of the most important methods that I personally consider, because whenever you are going into machine learning and deep learning, there is a lot of printing involved in that. Okay, you have to print the accuracy, the loss logs, you have to print the validation, test results, everything. You have to print a lot of different things, and the better you are able to format it, basically the entire format of what you are printing, if like there's epochs and then there is some pattern which is you are able to clearly distinguish between the different things, and that just makes your entire code very visually appealing. Okay, so a lot of people usually use format for the same. Okay, I personally use format for the same, and this is something that will come again and again in various different methods that you are currently doing. Okay, so I've just like provided it right over here so that you guys can understand this. We'll be using format string method a good bit in our future work in Python, and you will find it very valuable in your coding, especially with your print statements. We can best illustrate the use of format by the looking at some examples. So these are some of the examples that I've created just so that you are able to understand this. Okay. We don't know if attendance has happened or not. We do not know that actually, like if people from the live chat will agree that we actually don't know if attendance has happened or not. So yeah. Okay. str marks. Okay, you didn't understand that. Okay, so I will just repeat it once more, no problem in that. Okay, so if I want to convert if I want to convert 15, so I cannot just write when I'm writing, I cannot write subject plus marks. Okay, I cannot write this. Subject is string, marks is an integer. You cannot add an integer to a particular string. You need to understand this. You can only add string and string together. You can add integer and integer together. To add a integer to a string, okay, you want to append them, you have to first convert. Okay, you have to typecast. Okay, I have not told the word typecast, so you guys, you have to just type, you have to convert the type of integer from integer to string first. Okay, so you will convert 15 as an integer to a particular string that contains 15, and then you will take this particular new string that you have got and then append it to the next string. That's how the entire thing works. Okay, moving on to format. Okay, so here for example I am having a particular statement, Muhammad has dash number of balloons. Okay, so I want to input, okay, I want to put here exactly the number 27. Okay, to do that, what can I do is dot format 27. So what does dot format does is it looks inside of this particular string or whatever is present on the LHS of like left hand side of the dot, it looks for curly brackets inside of this. Okay, whenever it finds a curly brackets right over here, whatever the value is present inside the format method, inside the format function, it will take that and replace the curly brackets by 27. So actually what it will do for this is it will take out the curly brackets and put 27 instead of that, and that will be the output that we'll be able to see. When I run this for the example 1, we'll be able to see Muhammad has 27 balloons. Very simple. Okay, format will look for curly brackets, it will replace the curly brackets with whatever is the value present inside of format. So very easy to understand, nothing too complicated. Okay, so you can even have multiple variables being inserted inside of the string. Okay, for example here, does your curly brackets question mark. Okay, so what will format do? Format will map. Okay, so the first occurrence of the curly brackets will be replaced by the first variable or the first value present inside a format. The second occurrence of the curly brackets will be replaced by the second occurrence of the variable or the value present inside a format. So when I'm printing it out, you will be able to see, so animal is dog, action is bite. So you'll be able to see, does your dog bite? As simple as that. Okay, the first occurrence of the curly brackets were replaced by the first value, and the second occurrence of the curly brackets were replaced by the second value. Okay, example 3, Maria string, Maria loves a particular. So here what we have done is, instead of writing, okay, the entire string right over here, I'm just able to understand you that you can even use a variable. Okay, you can even put a variable right over here, variable dot format, and then the values directly. Instead of writing the variables, you can just write the values directly, math and statistics. So that will give you Maria loves math and statistics. So as simple as that. There is like I don't think so there will be any doubts in this. I hope that I've able to like teach you properly. Okay, why to use format? Okay, to understand that, please like understand that you do not actually know. For example, while printing a lot of different computations, so you will be given a particular string. Okay, this is a particular string, so the dash epoch. Okay, so I'm just giving you an example. The dash epoch has run this out of this many number of times. Okay, so the entire string will look something like this. The dash epoch, so my spelling is very bad. Okay, epoch has run dash out of dash many number of times with an dash of dash, uh, and then and loss of this. Okay, so for example, this is the thing that you need to print. Okay, you are running three different models. Okay, so you will also have to specify the model as well. So model is this. Okay, and then dot 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 this. Okay, so for this, so what you are going to do here is you are having three different machine learning models. Okay, you are in the 100th epoch of that, in which you have run 32 out of like 128 different batches, and with a time, many number of times with a, so you are having, you can have accuracy, you can have your, like you can represent it in different formats. There are many different formats, rich values and everything that you can use to denote your computational style. Okay, to compute the error, how well is your model performing, and then you want to specify the loss as well. Okay, here as you are able to see, there are so many different variables that you have to put in, and for each model it will be different. Okay, so you cannot just write every single time, okay, model, then like plus this every single time. So you will have to write it 3 to 4 different times, okay, for every single type of variation that you are doing in your code. Instead, you can write this entire statement just once, assign it to a particular variable s, and then use it directly later on, just by specifying the variables that you need to change only. That makes your work very concise and very informative as well, because in one single go you are able to see, okay, these are all the changes that you need to do. Okay, so that is where you use format. Okay, see, these questions, just like I'm not able to understand one thing. Okay, why do we need programming? We need programming just to make our lives better. That is the entire function of different functions as well in Python. So why do we have len? Okay, why do we have the len function? We can easily go around like computing, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So there are 7 different characters in shape AI. But why do we need len function? That's a simple question. That to make your code much more like beautiful and much more concise is the main like reason why these functions exist. Okay. Okay, moving further, lists and membership operators. So this is also very important, guys. Membership operators. Okay, so there's a lot of different things. So we will complete this by tomorrow. Tomorrow will be we will be ending this Python, and from day after tomorrow we'll be starting with the entire programming itself. Okay, so this will be very easy for you. Epoch and everything, don't worry about it. Okay, you do not need to know it right now. When we'll be doing the project itself, that particular time itself, I will be telling you guys. Okay. Okay, so what are the different questions right now? Format. Okay, you didn't understood format. Okay, no problem. I will just like make like tell you once more. There is no issue with that. Okay, so for example, Muhammad has dash number of balloons. Okay, I want to fill in this dash with a particular number. Okay, for that I will use the format method. So you are having the entire string dot format, and whatever the value is present inside of format, that will be replacing the occurrences of the different curly brackets. Okay, if you are having two curly brackets, then the first occurrence of the curly brackets will be replaced by the first value present inside a format, and the second occurrence of the curly brackets will be replaced by the second element that is present inside a format. That's the only thing. When you're running this, you will get an output as does your dog bite. Here animal is dog and action is bite, so you will get an output as does your dog bite. As simple as that. Okay, so for those see, Shape AI provides these type of internship opportunities, training. Basically, it's a industrial training and internship where people from different companies come to teach you. So if someone is interested in that, they can go to our website as well, check it out. Otherwise, like we always provide these type of free boot camps right over here as well, so you can continue doing this. So the next bootcamp, I'm not sure. I'm just confused between web development or data science itself. So I want to get started with React, JavaScript, all these different kinds of technologies. But like still, like people from Shape is continuously telling me to continue with data science itself. So I'm still thinking about it. Whatever is the output, I will let you guys know very soon on the WhatsApp. Again, the notes has been shared on the WhatsApp, so you guys can check it out. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay. And yes, I'm just thinking whether it should be web development or it should be React or something like that. I will try my level best. I just want to start with the next boot camp as well. So whatever is the output, I will just let you guys know on the different channels, that is WhatsApp and Telegram. Those students who are interested to join the ShapeAI student influencer program, so what happens in ShapeAI student influencer program is they get a lot more number of boot camps. Basically, they are also getting it for free itself. So they are a kind of campus ambassador program by ShapeAI. So you represent ShapeAI at your campus, you bring in students for these free boot camps, and in return for that we provide you with different extra boot camps just for these ShapeAI student influencers throughout the year. Okay, those are extra boot camps, those are also certified. Okay, so each of them also has a different small projects as well. So that is something that those people who will be joining the ShapeAI student influencership can take a benefit of. Also, like, there are many different like referrals program available in that, like those students joining the ShapeAI student influencership, each person that you are bringing in for the training and internship program gets about like some like it basic like how the campus ambassador work. I'm not handling that, of course. Like, I'm more into teaching and reaching out to people. But those who want to join the ShapeAI student influencership, the link to register is down in the description of this video, in every video, so you can join that as well. C++. So personally, my favorite option for competitive programming and DSA is C++. I personally prefer that over Java, although I know Java as well, but my personal preference is C++. I tell students not to do like DSA and CPP in CP in Python. Either choose C++ or Java. That is my personal preference, but it's up to you. Yes, C++ is very beneficial. Like, exactly like I'm saying, like DSA and CP, you have that particular thing. You have to do it to get into a good company. Without that, you will never be able to make it into a good company. Never. So to do that, you are having two options. Like, according to me, you are having two options. Of course, you can use JavaScript, you can use Perl, you can use Scala. Okay, so all these languages you can use for DSA and CP. But according to me, stick with the industrial norms. Okay, stick with C++ or Java. Okay. Yes, you can use F instead of format as well. Yeah. Java versus Kotlin. For C++, for CP, that is competitive programming and DSA, use Java. Okay, for development, if you are going into Flutter, then use Kotlin. Resources for the previous bootcamps have been shared on all the groups. Okay. We will have a boot camp for, like, of course, like we are not going into a lot of depth. For example, in this particular boot camp as well, you are able to see that we have not gone into a depths of Python and everything. Yes, we have covered a lot of different topics, but like we have not gone extremely into depth. Yes, we will have boot camps on C++, on data structures and algorithms as well in the future, but of course we'll be covering just the basics. That is just an introductory sessions. Okay, these boot camps are just introductory sessions. Yes, i3 is sufficient for running all the languages due to the presence of Chrome browser and online IDEs. You do not have to run any language on your laptop right now. Like, you can even just buy a phone and work in that as well. Average package of data analysts. So okay, so that's a very interesting question. So like whatever I'm earning and what my friends are earning, I can just tell you according to that itself. Okay, I'm just going according to India. So if someone is from a foreign country, I cannot help you with that because I do not have enough knowledge about your country. But for India, I can tell you this. I'm talking about a good company. I'm talking about an MNC that is well recognized. Okay, so I'm not talking about startups. I will go into that as well. So for a well-known company, okay, an MNC, the average package for a SDE would be around 12 to like 14, 15 lakhs. Okay, that's the maximum that it can go. Sometimes they also offer up till 16 lakhs, but that's it. Okay, SDE can get up till that particular point itself. Microsoft SDE can get 24 lakhs. Okay, so like from personal experience, I know 24 lakhs is what Microsoft offers. For an data analyst, okay, the starting is usually for an MNC. Again, I'm not talking about like I'm talking about product based companies right now. Okay, so these product based companies usually offer starting from like around 15. It starts about from 15 and it goes up till 34. Okay, so up till 34 it goes. For example, Geo, Atlassian, all these companies given the upper ranges of 24 to like 30. Okay, so that's the entire range. And then you are having web developers paid a little bit more than SDE and a little bit less than data analysts, so it will be around the mark of 14 to like 22, 23. Okay, that's what web developers are being paid. I'm just talking about MNCs. Again, for startups it will be around 6 to 10 lakhs everything, like whether you be an SDE, whether you be an a data analyst, whether you be a web developer, it will be like it will start from about 3 lakhs and go up till 10 lakhs. Okay, in that as well data analysts are being paid much more than web developers and SDE. So a data analyst would be around in this 6 to 10 range, SDE would be in the 3 to like 9 range, and web developers would be something in the middle. So that's the entire thing. Okay, attendance link always works. I've already checked it. More than 1500 have come up. Okay. Okay, so let's leave it at this particular point itself. We'll also discuss it tomorrow. Okay, we will be joined by Parag Mittal and Rahul Halalka. Both of them are interns at Microsoft, and upcoming interns at Microsoft SDE Parag Mittal, and upcoming intern at Goldman Sachs as a data analyst Rahul Halalka, who is also, both of them are instructors as well as doubt assistants in Shape AI. So you will be able to meet them. So let's see, I will arrange a meeting with them as well, so that you are guys are able to ask them also some doubts instead of just me. Although we all have cracked different companies, but still, like, I know not many of you are like want to go into Geo, but into Microsoft and Goldman Sachs. So we'll bring them in. You can ask them some questions as well. Like both of them have different experiences. One of them is SD, one of them is data analyst, so you will be able to get a lot of reviews from them as well. So we'll keep that at the 7th or 8th day. Let's see into it. Okay, once that has been done, let's see how it goes. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow, and yeah, we'll continue from there. Thank you.